Welcome. Today is September the 4th, and it's now time for the weekly San Jose State football press conference with head coach Mike McIntyre. A few notes. This Saturday, San Jose State's home opener. Spartans will host UC Davis at Spartan Stadium. Game time is 5 p.m. The game will be heard on KLIV in San Jose, KION in the Salinas Monterey area, and KFIV as in Victor in the Modesto Stockton area. There's no television for this game. So now let's bring in San Jose State's head coach Mike McIntyre.
All right, thank you very much. A little bit about the Stanford game. It was a heartbreaking loss. Our kids were really down, but I thought they bounced back Sunday evening as we had practice and started meetings, and then we had a very good practice today. It was just a heartbreaking loss, to say the least. And I thought we played hard, just didn't get it done like we need to. And we've got a tough test coming up this Saturday against UC Davis. There's been 11 games played between the two schools. The record is 5-4-2. It's about as close as you can get. San Jose State's won 5. UC Davis has won 4, and they've tied 2. So it's a very, very tough battle. UC Davis beat us in 2010 here in our stadium. Coach Biggs does a phenomenal job there. I know he's retiring. I hate to see him retiring. What a phenomenal coach, great man, and done an unbelievable job at UC Davis. So it'd be a very, very tough game for us. We have a unique situation. We have the Caspar brothers that are playing against each other. They'll actually be hitting heads all night long. So I don't know who won when they were little kids, but they're going to be going face to face. I don't know whether it'll be between for their mom and dad at the game. I know they'll be excited about it, and so that'll be a unique battle within the battle of the game. So they have an excellent quarterback, number 17, Randy Wright. He played against us as a freshman and beat us. Very good player, tall young man, can make a lot of plays. They have 32 players on their team that were here when they beat us 2 years ago. 19 starters that played in that game are back on their team. So it's going to be a very, very tough task for us, and one that we're looking forward to the challenge of playing them Saturday. They do a good job in the passing game. They've got some good runners. Defensively, I think they're very, very good. They've got a stout front, a good secondary, and they beat up on Isuzu Pacific handedly last Thursday. Beat them 41-3, and maybe could have beat them worse. So they're a very, very good football team coming in here, and our guys are excited about playing. So any questions I'll take at this time.
Yeah, as the emotions start to wear off from losing a close game to Stanford, what do you look back when you look at film and see that you guys did well? And what are the positives you take away from that game?
We were extremely physical. We were very, very tough. We held the line of scrimmage. They had one run on us where we kind of misaligned a little bit, which is one of the things they do, and then we corrected that. And they didn't have very many. They didn't have very many explosive plays. We had more explosive plays than they did. It was just a night that was very uncharacteristic to us for us dropping footballs. We usually don't do that. And I think that just happens every once in a while. It's kind of like when your shot doesn't go in basketball sometimes. You're trying, it just doesn't go. And I know that'll be corrected and we'll do well in that area. And to me, that was the whole difference in the ball game. If we catch a couple balls we usually catch, we'd be a lot happier today.
So those are the things that you took away, positives. What are some things you're concerned with heading into week 2?
Well, I'm concerned with, we need to be able to get the ball in the end zone. I'm concerned with we're going to play a very good passing team. The team we played last week was okay at the passing game, very excellent at the running game. I thought we did a good job against their run. So this week it's completely reversed. We've got to stop the passing game. We've got to rush the passer. And I think that's one of the things we've got to do. We've got to rush the passer better. If we give this young man time, he'll be able to make plays. So the ability to rush the passer is an area that I see that we need to improve on this week.
I think it's something 8 out of the last 12 or 13 games have been decided by 7 points or less. Even though the Stanford game was a loss, how exciting is it for you as a coach to be involved in games like this, or how nerve-wracking is it?
Oh, it's very nerve-wracking. That's what my wife always tells me when I come home. She says, why don't we just blow some people out? And that's what we're trying to do, and we haven't been able to do that yet. It was an exciting game to coach. It was an exciting game to play in. I think it was an enjoyable game for fans to watch. But in the end, all the excitement wears off when you have less numbers on the scoreboard than they do. So that's something that we need to rectify and accomplish and start finishing games. And, we've played in a lot of close games. We've won some. We've lost some. And I think, our kids are starting to not panic in those situations and starting to play through it. And, granted, I just give credit to Stanford. They made a few plays in the fourth quarter more than we did. And that's where the difference lies. So we need to take care of that this week and keep doing that in the games to come. Most all of our games are going to be close. That's the way most college football games are. And I think that we'll have a lot of, I would imagine the next 12 will all be pretty close. Hopefully not that close, and hopefully we're on the other side of it, but there'll be a lot of close football games.
I think pretty much everybody who watched pretty impressed with the way David Fales played. As you evaluate and watch that game over, what are your thoughts on his debut, and how confident are you now in him going ahead in game 2?
Well, I thought David played well in his first outing, and I think that he kept after it. He got hit hard a few times and bounced right back up. That was the thing. I watched all the other stuff, but as hard as he got hit a few times and bounced right back up, went back in and threw the ball again or made a play, it never fazed him. He never flinched. He never backed down. And that was, to me, very impressive, and I saw a lot of fight and fortitude in him in that area.
30 yards on 11 carries for DeLeon Eskridge against Stanford. What did you think of his performance, and what can we expect out of the guy?
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I would have liked us to run the ball a little bit better than we did. We had some negative yards because of sacks. We would have had over 100 yards rushing, I believe, in the game, but the sacks hurt us a little bit. That's an NCAA stat. It's a whole different story. In the NFL, they don't do it that way, by the way. So it's a whole different story. But I thought DeLeon did well. He just needs to, like we talked about after the game, he was really down about the fumble. He had it protected pretty well. They just put their hat right on the ball, and that happens sometimes. We caused 2 fumbles and couldn't get on them, so it's kind of one of those deals. Hopefully we can. But I thought he did a good job.
Obviously Blake Jerk, that was a little wrinkle you guys threw in there, and was successful with it.
Yes.
What kind of prompted you to go with that, kind of having him be a kind of Tebow-like quarterback?
Right. Blake's earned the right to do that. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. We're going to keep playing the rest of the year. We've said that all along. I knew he has some really good strengths, and we're going to rest on those strengths. And when you have a quarterback that can run like that, he can also pass it real well. It kind of gives you another element and something that other teams have to work on, but also gives us another element to be able to run the ball in certain situations. And he'll keep playing. And he has the kids love him. He has a great fight to him and spirit. And we'll just keep using Blake, the Blake dozer, so to speak.
The first and second half seemed like completely different ball games. Stanford controlled the first half. San Jose State had the second half and almost pulled off the comeback. What do you think changed between the first and second half? What allowed you guys to start making some headway there?
We caught the ball. We caught the ball. In the first half, we had a few plays there. If we catch the football, we would have had a touchdown on about a 70-yard play, and we would have had 3 or 4 other first downs where we just dropped the football. Those kids have made a lot of plays for us, and they will continue to. It just happens sometimes. But in a game when you're playing a caliber football team that good, you don't need to have that happen as often as we did. But they'll bounce back for sure. And I think that also, we had the one misfit on the one run. They popped for 30 yards. We never allowed them to have one of those again, and that was key in the ball game.
What's the message you've given to the receivers after that? Because obviously that was frustrating to watch.
Well, I talked to them at halftime and challenged them in front of the whole team, and I knew they would respond because they have great character and they're tough, hard-nosed kids, and they came back and did well, and they'll do well the rest of the year. I don't know if it was the lights, if it was the jitters. It's probably a combination of both. But they'll do well coming this fall. I guarantee they'll do really well Saturday.
You know, the fact that Davis came in here 2 years ago and beat you guys, I'm sure that's got to make sure that helps you make this team focus this week, because, you know, they played well against Stanford maybe, but, you know, they know what it's like to lose.
Oh,
to
no,
Davis.
there's no doubt. Every game we play is gigantic, and, you know, Davis has beat us a bunch of times. So it's not like, you know, they beat us 4 times and tied us twice. We've only beat them 5. So, you know, it's a very, very tough game. They're right down the road. A lot of the kids know each other. I mean, 2 of them are brothers. So there are a lot of friends, a lot of high school teammates. It's an excellent school and has a very good football tradition. And it's just a huge game for us.
What would it mean to get a win in the first home game of the season and to even up the record at 1-1? Because it seems like the team, even though they lost the first game, it seems like they're going in the right direction so far. So
yeah, it's huge. Every win's huge. The quicker you can get on the board and get going is big. And you know, we would definitely like to do that and get everything going in the win column and to be able to reach the goals we want to reach. And you know, this game, I can't say it enough. To me, this is a gigantic game for our program. All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. That concludes this week's San Jose State football press conference. A reminder, game time Saturday, September 8th is 5 p.m. For those of you who are tuning into this recording either on Tuesday the 4th or Wednesday the 5th, the Mike McIntyre show is on KLIV, is taped at 6 p.m. at Original Joe's in downtown San Jose. Replay is at 9 p.m. same night on KLIV 1590 AM San Jose. That's it for this week. We'll look forward to seeing you again the next San Jose State football press conference, which will be Monday, September the 10th. Thank you.